All right, so we've got a streamer tier list here. Every streamer's been doing one. It is my turn. Tiers are pretty simple: S, A, B, C, and F. There's no reason to make more tiers than what we need, which is why there's no D tier. First of all, we're gonna start off with IShowSpeed. I think this is probably the easiest S of the entire tier list. I mean, this dude is in a lane of his own, does his own thing, and more importantly, has like changed the game, bro. This guy's genuinely generational. Next up, DDG. Oh, DDG's tough because I don't really watch him, but when I see him and see clips of him and stuff, like it's decent, but like I feel like he's kind of chill. He doesn't really break any boundaries with streaming. He doesn't really go overboard. I think I'm gonna put him in C because I don't really watch him, but he also don't really be making waves as a streamer that much anymore. So I think I'm gonna keep him C. Phantom here. I like Phantom. I think Phantom's very funny. But then again, this is another guy I feel like doesn't. I don't want to say innovate. Like that feels bad saying that, but he's super funny, super great. I'll put him B. I like Phantom, but I don't think he goes above and beyond when it comes to streaming and streamers. So I'm gonna put him B, but he is funny for sure. Hassan, this is the easiest F ever, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Political content, it just ends up breeding so much hatred, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It puts a lot of hatred in the air. I don't care what side he's on, bro. When you talk about politics like that online, especially in the streaming world where, let's be honest, most of the people are not educated on politics, bro, it ends up becoming it's always toxic, always. So yeah, I don't like all the negativity that comes from his streams, which may not necessarily be his fault. I don't know because I don't watch him, but that's just the nature of politics. It always breeds a lot of negativity. So yeah, I have to put it F tier because I think the whole point of being a streamer is to kind of bring positivity, and his shit brings negativity. So I got to go F. Adin Ross, nowadays not so good, but I'm gonna put him A tier because he was a massive innovator for streaming. I mean, he kind of made just chatting viable. I feel like he was the big guy who kind of pushed that out to everybody. Obviously did all the shit with the rappers and stuff like that, and even now still doing big stuff. Like, I mean, Brand Risk was still big, but it's not like he is on top of his game anymore. I never see anything from him unless it is like a super big event like the Brand Risk boxing. I feel like he just doesn't do as much anymore. Like, he's not as hungry, I guess. So I'd just put him A tier just for the legacy. Your Rage. Ooh. What the fuck just happened to my stream manager, bro? This shit just bugged the fuck out. Anyway, I'm going to put Your Rage B tier. I think he's funny, but I think he doesn't step out of his comfort zone all too much, which, I mean, he doesn't have to. I'm not saying he needs to, but he's another guy similar to Phantom. I think he's entertaining and stuff and definitely makes good content, good clips and all that, but it's not like he is really being innovative anymore. His Caretaker series was pretty innovative, but he's kind of just been like just fun content to watch and just pretty enjoyable. So I think I'll just put him B tier. Black Boy Max, I think I have to put him S tier. I mean, he is one of my favorite streamers. He's, I'd say, tied for number one, and it's between two. But the reason I have to put him S tier is he kind of made the music and Twitch scene what it is today. I'm not saying he was the first because we had like DDG and Adin Ross and stuff, but Max is kind of the first. I mean, he got nominated for. He's the first streamer to ever get nominated for a Grammy, first and only right now. And I just think he's always been super funny, at least, like, but I think the innovation and just the fact that he's still creating so much, I think that's why I have to put him in S. He's still doing unique ideas and stuff, which is great, and obviously one of my favorite streamers, so a little bit of bias there. Next we have Ludwig. I gotta be honest, bro, I don't really watch Ludwig, but I gotta put him S tier. They call him my twin, even though we look nothing alike. But Ludwig, I gotta put him S tier just because I think he is probably the most efficient and logical streamer like out there. Like, if you want to know how to make it as a streamer, for example, you can't watch Your Rage and figure out how to make it as a streamer because he made it because of his personality, how funny he is, and stuff like that, personal stuff. If you want to do everything in your power to make it as a content creator, then you would watch Ludwig, right? Like, that's the only reason I watch Ludwig is to kind of learn from him because I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of his content, but the fact, like, what he does is just, it's so logically based and so efficient that you have to learn from it. Like, he's the most efficient and logical streamer out there. I got to give him S tier for that, bro. And he's been doing it for how long? Forever. Arky. Oh, Arky's tough. I like Arky, but I watch him a lot. He actually might be like my second most watched streamer. My problem with Arky and putting him high is, I don't agree with the stuff that he steals content or whatever, because every content creator steals content. But I think the thing with him is like, I feel like he don't ever be putting his foot down on stuff. They have a lot of drama all of the time, and I feel like he never, even if he could be at the center of it, he never really does anything. I'm trying to word this properly because it's about the streamer, like not all the drama shit, but I feel like he hasn't stamped who he is, if that makes sense. Like, he's super entertaining, super funny, does a lot of great concepts and streams and stuff, but I just think he needs to kind of like put his foot down a little more and kind of really show off who he is. I'm gonna put him B though. He's still a great streamer, but yeah, I think he needs to stamp himself a little more. Next up, we have Silky. I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch Silky. And he boots up incredibly late, so I can't really watch him. It's hard for people to watch him because of how late he streams. I'll be honest, I'm gonna put him C tier just because when I do watch Silky, he's normally like always late to everything. Because normally I watch him in like the big stuff, and he's always late. I feel like not very punctual, which you don't need to be as a streamer. And I feel like a lot of his streams, whenever I see him, like I've seen he's doing some newer stuff recently, which is cool. I like the innovation, but I think he hasn't really been what's it called, too innovative as of late. Like a lot of Marvel Rival streams and stuff, and just chilling on desktop, and I think that can kind of, it can kind of hold you back a little bit. So yeah, I think he's funny dude though. I think super entertaining guy. It's just I think he needs to step out of his comfort zone a little more. I think he's also got a little too comfortable, like a lot of these other streamers in B and C tier. I just haven't been C tier because I literally can't watch him because he streams so late. Marlon, I'm put Marlon in B tier. He just started recently, like trying to build his own shit. So I think he is gonna go up. Like, he just hosted his first ever event like a week or two ago. So yeah, I would say he's definitely, on that rise right now to get into like A tier. Like, he's just now starting to be innovative with his own content and stuff, with that, which I really like. So I'm gonna leave him in B tier for now, but I think he will go up if he continues to try to build his own shit. Rakai, bro, I don't like Rakai in terms of his content and stuff. A lot of people don't like this kid, all this other stuff. I'm not gonna lie, this dude is super influential on the streaming space, bro. He has done a lot of stuff for it. I don't like his content, like I said, but I think I have to give him A tier. I think I have to. His content's not for me. I don't watch him, but you can't help but see him everywhere because he's doing something right. I mean, or wrong, depending on how you see it. But he's everywhere, man. So I think I have to give him A tier. Next up, though, we have Joe Bart. Joe Bart is tough. I like Joe Bart's content, obviously. It's difficult because, gosh, man, because he's in a similar situation to somebody like, let's say, your age, where he just kind of does the same thing, very comfortable. I think I'm gonna put him A tier though, just because he is. Even when you think of desktop, like just pure desktop streaming, he is the number one guy for just desktop streaming. And sorry, dude, I cut my nails and I like didn't get a part here. It's like stabbing me. And he the only reason I'm putting him in A tier and putting him above B tier is because, similar to Ludwig, there's a lot to learn from Joe. I'm not even saying like his informational streams and stuff he does, and when he like goes on the factual rants and stuff. I'm just saying there's a lot to learn from him because he was really the first big streamer, I think, to kind of come purely from TikTok and not just be like all promoting themselves on TikTok. Like, he was a TikTok creator and then he streamed. So he was like kind of the first guy to do that. So that's why I'm going to put him in A tier. Don't think he's S tier though. Jason the Ween, tied for my number one streamer. Very innovative. I would say as of late, his content hasn't been as good. He's had a lot going on, but normally super innovative dude. But I feel like as of late has been a little bit behind So, but I still like watching Jason. Like I said, he's probably tied for my favorite streamer with Max. It's just tough to convince myself to put him into S tier because as of late, I mean, it's hard to think what he's really done. He's had some good segments and stuff for sure, but he hasn't been as innovative as late. Like the last thing he did, like Streamer U, he was doing great, obviously, and there's a lot of other times, but like the last really big thing I can remember him doing was like the Surviving an Island, which that was obviously great, but it's been a while since we've got anything like that. But he's been consistent. The segments have been good. But I think I have to leave him in A tier as of now. I think this year is a little. I don't want to say a step back because you're always growing as a person, but I think last year he was a lot more consistent when it came to the big ideas. He's still a consistent streamer, but he's not doing as many big things as he was this last year. Neon. The thing about Neon that sucks is he has actually turned himself into a decent streamer, right? He's actually turned himself into somebody watchable, entertaining, likable, but he has a past, a pretty bad past, not gonna lie. And so it's impossible for him to rank really high. I'm between B and C. I think I'm going to have to give him C. He has done a great job turning around his PR because he really used to be a little piece of shit and he really used to do a lot of fucked up stuff. But he has changed. Genuinely, he has changed. So I don't think he could be F tier. I think I have to give him C tier. But yeah. Next, we have Valkyrae. I'll be honest, I've never watched Valkyrae. I'm not even sure what she does, to be honest with you. I just know the name and I know the face. Not really too sure what she does. I feel like I have to give her F tier just because I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't know. Dr. Disrespect, this is an easy F tier. Even content-wise, I never really liked this guy. I feel like he's never really done interesting for the space other than giving himself an alter ego, which it's not even like he's the first person to do that, but I guess he did make it kind of popular. But other than that, I mean, this guy's never been anything special in my opinion. And it's not just because of the shit with the minors or whatever. I've never liked this guy. So F tier is pretty fair for me. FaZe Adapt, well, no longer FaZe. Adapt is tough because this is a guy who is more of a content creator than a streamer when you look at legacy, because like obviously this guy was a massive YouTuber for a while. And now he pretty much only streams. And as a streamer, being objective here, I think I'm going to have to give him C tier. I think his big ideas are phenomenal. Like the Alaska thing they're doing right now is great. The problem is this year and as of late, he's been extremely inconsistent. I mean, I swear in the last like 2 months, dude has went live maybe 10 times. And I get he's had a lot of stuff going on and stuff like that, but this year has definitely been a little bit of a slowdown for him. Like, I think his content is still good, and when they do the big stuff he does is great. But even that, he was supposed to be a part of Marlon's event that he held, and he didn't show up. He's just been kind of MIA a lot of the year, so I think I have to give him C tier. I think he makes good content. I think he's super funny, but I think he's been a little inconsistent this year. Next up, we have Senna. And people say maybe this doesn't matter, maybe it does. I don't know. I'm giving Senna S tier because I think she's genuinely changing the way like female streamers are looked at. Also, the picture doesn't look like Senna at all, but it was the first JPEG I could find that was square, so that's beside the point. But Senna, I think, changes the game for female streamers. And, people be like, it doesn't matter male or female or whatever, but I mean, it does, because I'll be honest, we'll get to them later, but a lot of the older female streamers, Emeru, Pokimane, Valkyrae, what is talked about? When I typed in Pokimane, you want to know what came up, by the way? It was her Instagram post before anything, and all the Instagram posts were like, I don't want to say suggestive, but like they were, you know what I mean. They were the better looking photos. That's all that comes up when you type in Pokimane nowadays, at least when I was image searching. And so a lot of the old female streamers, and that's not their fault, Senna's obviously, objectively attractive as well, but it's not their fault. But I think Senna is breaking lanes in terms of that. A lot of the other female streamers, or at least the older ones, they were kind of desktop or gaming because that was popular back then, but she kind of broke the mold and has made it I don't even know how to explain. She's been an everything variety streamer, which is kind of the meta nowadays. Like that's what Jason does. That's what like Max does. You know, even Ludwig does it. Speed does it. Like that's kind of the meta, being a variety streamer. And I think she really broke the boundaries for females when it comes to variety streaming. She was the first one to really do it. Next we have Clit or Clicks. This has got to be easy C tier. I don't think his content is necessarily bad, but he's been doing the same thing for how long? So I think got to be C tier. Eventually he's got to move on. Neon, C tier is too high. No, I was saying, bro, with Neon, it's like, bro, he has turned himself around so much that like he is somewhat a likable guy now. His content is actually decent now, but like I said, he has a past, which is why he ranks so low, because nowadays he's he's a likable dude, but oh man, go look up what Neon was doing to blow up back in the day, and you will instantly dislike the guy. But he has done a great job at actually becoming a better person, which is why I put him in C tier. But yeah, I mean, he definitely did a lot of fucked up shit for a while, so he can't go higher than C. Queso, I bet Queso's got to be B tier. It's the same thing I said about your Rage and Phantom. Just too comfortable. I mean, all he does is play games late at night, and normally plays the fucking shit slop games. Not gonna lie, that's normally all he plays. He doesn't even play any good games normally. He normally plays bullshit like Water Park Simulator. So for me, I'm not a big fan of his content because the games he plays sucks. I think he's a funny guy. I think he's a likable guy, but he doesn't do anything like innovative for streaming. He's just a likable guy, so you can go B tier. XQC, it's got to be B tier at this point. Maybe back in the day, he was like very. I mean, he's still very involved in the desktop and the gaming community and stuff, but maybe back in the day when he was like being kind of more innovative in it, I could have put him higher, but nowadays he does the same thing every day, bro. I think he's got to be B tier. The TikToks I see is Neon almost killed a guy. Well, Neon nowadays is a lot more respectable, but Neon back in the day, I mean, I know for a fact he faked having cancer. Neon's content used to be, or the I just got marked gig. I don't even know what that is. But what he used to do back in the day, and he was Jack Doherty maxing. He used to like go to like malls and stuff, and he used to just like make fun of the public workers there. Like his content that tried to make him blow up was fucking terrible. Nowadays, like I said, he's turned over a new leaf, but it's going to take a lot longer than what he's been doing to rise up, because man, the way he tried to blow up, he was a fucking asshole. He was a terrible person. So I do think genuinely, if you just tune into a Neon stream, which I never do, but every now and then I'll see him on other people's streams, he has become a lot better of a person. It doesn't feel fake or he did it because of the cameras. I do feel like he genuinely has become a lot nicer of a person. But yeah, he's still got to be C tier. Dude, what the fuck is going on with my stream manager? It is bugging out. Anyway, Maya Higa, I'm gonna put S tier, bro. Like the first person to ever like kind of make nature relevant in streaming. Her content, maybe not be the most entertaining to everybody, but it's always informational. If cheating your way to be famous, you don't deserve a second chance. Fuck that dude. I mean, some people say that, but I don't know. I'm a forgiver, but he's only C tier, bro. He ain't going higher than C tier. Anyway, Maya Higa, she does all the shit with the animals and stuff like that. Her content, like I said, isn't always the most like exciting, but it's always unique. I mean, there's nobody that does what she does, so pretty simply, that's why she has to be an S tier. And I like that type of content. I get streaming. A lot of people want like high paced, exciting stuff, but I like her like streams. They're a lot more calming and they're fun for me to watch. Next, we have Emaru. I mean, by definition and how I've been judging everybody, she has to go B tier. But I find Emaru extremely entertaining. I've never watched Emaru until about 2 months ago. And I did a stream where we watched, or not stream, I did a YouTube video where I watched Twitch for 24 hours straight. And there was at one point where nobody I knew was live other than Emaru. And I was like, fuck it, I'll give Emaru a try. She's actually pretty entertaining. I think she's pretty cool. But yeah, she kind of does the same things a lot of the time. Like she does cosplay, she does playing games, and just desktop. So not really too innovative nowadays. So I have to put her B tier, but I do think she's entertaining. Bruce, I'm not gonna lie, I used to like Bruce a lot. Bruce used to be my most watched streamer for a while. I think I have to put him F tier. And I don't know, maybe nowadays he's different, but even just a few months ago, I mean, dude nowadays is extremely negative. And the reason I put Hassan in F tier is because his content creates negativity. It's the same with Bruce, bro. Every time I see a Bruce clip or a Bruce stream or anything to do with Bruce, it's always something negative nowadays. And he used to be a funny dude. He used to have fun with people, be fun, be cool, do a bunch of collabs, be innovative. Now he does none of that. And I feel like every time I see him, it's just something hateful, bro. So I gotta put him F tier. I'm sorry. Bruce is hilarious. But I can't stand, bro. When you got a platform, bro, you're not supposed to use it to, spread hate. You're supposed to use it to spread happiness and joy and shit. And I feel like recently he's been doing the opposite of that. Also, my stream manager is fucking up again. So if anybody's typing in chat, I cannot see it. Jack Doherty, this is the easiest F tier ever. It is genuinely the worst content creator on the planet Earth. So, yeah, that one's pretty simple. Wendy Ortiz, this is another easy F tier for me. Just everything I see of her just does not seem like a good person. Honestly, again, every time I see any clip of Wendy, because I don't watch her, it always seems rather ignorant, I guess is the right word. Her content just seems ignorant. Why Rakai A tier? Bro, like I said, dude, I wish my stream manager would fucking work right now. I put Rakai A tier, bro, because, many people don't like him. I don't like watching Rakai, but you can't lie, bro. The impact he has on the streaming world is crazy, bro. How much does Rakai pop up like all the time? Whether it's good or bad, he'd be popping up all the time, bro. But anyway, back to Wendy, bro. I feel like her content just like breeds ignorance and again, nothing really positive. Like every time I see her, it's just never anything positive. Maybe I'm wrong, but every time I see her, it's just always negative. Yo, my stream manager's fucked up. I'm sorry. I try to read chat, and then my chat on OBS isn't working either, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. Next we have Yana. I don't know. Yana, to me, I don't think she's a bad creator at all. I think she's super positive, which is the best thing about her. Like I said, I love the people that are spreading something good, and I think Yana does that. I think she's super positive, but I don't think she's super innovative either. So I really like what she does, and I think she uses her platform for what it's perfect for, which is like spreading positivity. So if you'd want to put her A tier, I get it, but I think I've put her B tier by definition, the way we've done everybody else, being that she kind of does a lot of the same stuff. She's just extremely positive, which I think is sick, but she's not super innovative anymore. Or I shouldn't say anymore. I not really ever, not trying to hate, but I think what makes her is her personality. So, yeah, she's super nice. Next we have Extra Emily. This is one similar to maybe Aiden Ross. She's calmed down a little bit, but she was a massive pioneer for IRL streaming. So she still goes A tier. I've never been a fan of her content personally, but she is obviously responsible for. Dude, my whole Twitch is fucked up, bro. All right, anyway, but she's like responsible for a lot of IRL streaming stuff. So, yeah, I think she has to go A tier. Next, we have Lacey. Lacey has had a massive glow up content creation wise. Like, I think physically he has too, but this dude, in my opinion, used to make some of the worst content ever. And even when he switched, it's not even just the Fortnite stuff. Even when he was doing IRL at first, I thought it was trash. Recently, though, I think he has become a lot more entertaining. But I don't think he's doing anything too innovative right now, which obviously this year is a little hard for him because he physically can't do a lot of innovative stuff. So I think he's going to go B tier. I can't really remember anything that makes Lacey like an innovative streamer, but he has got a lot more entertaining. He is not as annoying as he used to be. And he has fixed a lot of the issues that people had with him. So, yeah, I think B tier. Next, we have KDB. This is, again, similar to everybody else in B tier. I mean, cool personality, but not really innovative. Sketch, I'll be honest, bro. I hate to do it, but Sketch is an F tier streamer, if I had to be honest. Now, as a content creator and as just a person seen in the space, he is entertaining. He really is. Consistency with streaming, terrible. Content he makes, mostly terrible. I mean, still to this day, he just does a lot of like Madden and shit. And I get that's what blew him up, bro. but that content's never been good. It's never been viable. It's never been a top tier content. He's never really done anything innovative. He just has a really good personality, but even his streams, his streams are not the best. So I think I have to give him F just because the consistency and quality is just not there. But likable dude. Even at Streamer U, I mean, he was like invisible at Streamer U. Most people probably don't even know he was there. Kai Cenat, I mean, it's got to be S tier. I mean, the innovation he's been doing, especially this year, Streamer University 2 was phenomenal. The innovation, he's got to be up there. Then we have Ninja. I mean, Ninja was at one point the biggest streamer in the world, but I'll be honest, you know, people probably think he should go pretty high just because of that. I honestly don't. I don't think he was really innovative or anything or really changed streaming at all. I think he was just the biggest and best of the best thing that ever come to the internet, which was Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite is probably the biggest thing ever online. And he just happened to be the face of that. There's arguments definitely to have him up there. I think I'm just going to put him C tier because I think his content in general is pretty bland. I think he's somewhat entertaining, but his content nowadays especially is pretty bland. And yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for his legacy, I'd probably put him in F tier. I don't think Ninja's content is great. I don't think he's super consistent with streaming anymore. Or no, actually, he is consistent. It's just the quality is not great, if I'm not going to lie. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to put Ninja C tier. Next up, we have Myth. I like Myth, but similar to Sketch. Great personality, everything like that as a streamer. I think, especially nowadays, F tier. If you want to use the legacy argument and put him C tier with Ninja, sure. But I think even his legacy, he was not around as long as Ninja, unfortunately. I always liked Myth more. But with Myth, he kind of seems to be in and out of streaming a lot. And when he does stream, normally it lacks a lot of quality as well, which is why I have to put him in F tier. If you're going to put Rakai A tier for being an influence to people, Ninja got to be higher and create Fortnite content. No, you can't make that argument, though, because that's for everybody. Rakai's an A tier because Rakai has genuinely done a lot of shit, whether good or bad, for the streaming community. Like, he has been involved in everything over the past year. I could get the argument for Ninja being B tier, but I just couldn't put him any higher because Ninja really didn't influence anything that none of these. I mean, I bet you Jack Doherty has influenced somebody to stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think with Ninja, it's more just he was the face of the biggest thing on the internet, and that's, you know, if you think that should go higher, I get that, but I think the quality of his content's never been there or innovative, really. I mean, you've never seen Ninja do anything crazy for what's it called, for streaming or for even Fortnite. I mean, a lot of the Fortnite stuff, like you can look at Fortnite Fashion Show or Four Corners or Camping in a Bush or Winning Without Moving, like all the big Fortnite trends that happened for a while, like none of them were even caused by Ninja. Dude just played the game and he was relatively entertaining, was the biggest face. I mean, I think that's really the thing with Ninja. Oh, yes, Rakai encouraged his young audience. Bro, I'm not saying Rakai is necessarily good, bro, but he is involved in everybody's community. Everybody knows who Rakai is. Bro, he is a good streamer. I didn't say he was a great. Well, I don't think he's a bad person. I think he just does some stupid shit. But I don't know. I don't watch Rakai, but I'm just saying, bro. I think Rakai has to be A tier. Pokimane, I think she has to be A tier because she was honestly like the first real woman streamer. Kind of made it viable to where, you know, I mean, I don't. Yeah. Her situation is strange, but obviously nowadays doesn't stream as much, quality's not as high, so yeah, you know, fell off, as they say. Brayden, I like Brayden, but he kind of just broke into the scene, and he's got to establish who he is more, so C tier. Doing all those does not make you a good streamer. I mean, I don't know, bro. He's got a big fan base. I don't know. To me, it just makes sense to have Rakai in A tier. I mean, I get why you wouldn't have him there, but I would argue that it makes you I don't know, bro. I feel like he's a good streamer. I feel like a lot of his clips are pretty massive, at least. Anyway, we have Stable Ronaldo. I got to give him S tier. I don't really watch Ron that much, but he is probably the sole reason it should make Twitch look bad because of his actions. I mean, but I don't know. I think it's an overreaction when it comes to Rakai. I think Rakai does stupid shit, but I feel like it's never as bad as people say. I think, you know what? I could move him down to B tier. Actually, because like you can't deny his numbers. That's the reason why I have him so high or had him at A tier, because you can't deny the numbers. But the more you talk about it, it does make sense. His content does breed a lot of ignorance, which I don't like. But it's hard to deny his numbers. Like, I mean, dude is insanely viral, bro. Like, everything he does goes insanely viral. So I think I'll leave him in B tier, but it's nepotism. What do you mean, Kai Cenat? Kai Cenat ain't his real daddy. But he's like mega viral, so I think I have to put him in B tier just purely off the factual numbers. But yeah, your point does make sense. Anyway, who did I just rank before that? Braden? Oh yeah, Braden's making a wave of his own. So oh no, Stable Ronaldo. Yeah, Stable Ronaldo is Kai made a dumb decision in my opinion. Well, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the people Kai put on ain't the greatest streamers or people, but you know that's hearsay. But anyway, Stable Ronaldo, I feel like he's got to go S tier. I mean, he's probably the sole reason that clipping culture exists and that like blowing up off clips exists. He's the sole reason people clip and put shit on TikTok. He is the guy that kind of blew all that up and made all that a possibility and made that a like what the meta is today. Like he created the current meta of Twitch. I feel like got to be S tier. Next we have Vanilla Mace. I'm not gonna lie, this is another creator I have never watched. Don't know anything about her whatsoever. So for the same reason for Valkyrae, because I know nothing about her, I have to put her F tier. Then we have Agent Zero. I think Agent Zero, this is another guy you can learn a lot from, similar to Ludwig. But I think learning from him comes from different situations. I think Agent is very good at how you should hold yourself. And if you want to put him S tier for that, I agree. But as a streamer, I think I would only put him A tier. I don't think he's, at least right now, I don't think he's as innovative as he has been. I feel like I haven't seen too much of him going on. Normally he's doing a lot of crazy shit, but I feel like, you know, as of late, because I can't think, what did he really do this year? Was the Elden Ring thing with Emily this year? Maybe he should go S tier, just because of how influential Agent can be, and obviously how much you can learn from him. And yeah, I just feel like he hasn't done that many big things this year, but maybe I'm wrong, so I'll leave him in S tier. Fuck it. Agent's cool. Jinxie, easy S tier. He has kind of revitalized what gaming is and what a gaming streamer should be. Whether you like Jinxie or not, you can't deny being the #1 streamer while playing video games is hella impressive, especially when nobody watches gaming content anymore. So yeah, I mean that's I feel like enough in itself. Like, look at every other streamer on here. How many of these streamers mainly do video games? Barely any of them. All the big streamers, all the big content nowadays is not video games. And Jinxie honestly plays video games that are kind of sucked dry of content. I mean, he still plays Siege. Who the fuck is watching Siege right now, bro? And Siege is my favorite game of all time. Now, people thought he could revive every game. He just couldn't. Well, yeah, some games are just bad. But you can't fault him for that. I think it's incredible what he's done. Just because, dude, I mean, he's only gaming, bro, and putting up bigger numbers than, like, almost everybody else in S tier. I think the only two that definitively do better than him are probably Kai and Speed. And even Jinxie has more viewers than Kai sometimes. Speed's the only one that's, like, absolutely clear. But the numbers he puts up while just gaming, whenever gaming, especially on streams, is kind of dead, it's incredible. Next, we have Yugi. Yugi's hard because I think Yugi is super entertaining, and I think, you know, you see it a lot when people do their tier list and talk about it. He probably has the most potential out of any, like, growing streamer or smaller streamer. Like, his potential's actually incredible. And I'm debating between B or A tier because obviously, you know, him and Arky are very similar. They kind of grew at the same time, but Yugi kind of has it stamped on who he is. And, you know, I put Arky in B because he doesn't. So that already could put Yugi up. But Yugi also kind of made a new, I don't want to call it meta because I think a lot of people see it as a bad thing. Where he created, the Ballish segments, basically, where he just finds anything and everything he could do when he has nothing planned, which is, you know, I guess people would say is good, but it's become very popular now. and it's not the best for content, but he did create his own lane and created a lane that is used. I think he's still on the come up, but everybody says he's probably the next up and coming great streamer because of everything. I think I have to put him A tier just because he did create his own lane. He did create a lot of shit. He's still growing. He has his foot stamped. Everybody knows who he is, whether you like him or not. And I think he has obviously a great future ahead of him. It's tough to really say whether you think him creating the polishing segments should put him A tier or in fact lower him to B tier, because I think there's a lot of positives and negatives there. Like, he created his own lane, but it's a lane that a lot of people, at least content wise, don't think is great. So yeah, I guess it depends on your personal preference, but I like my list here. I mean, I think it's pretty solid. I just got the streamers from the list Stable Ronaldo did, so there's definitely some streamers missing here. It is what it is, but I mean, I think this is pretty solid here.